Our next step is to change our code into a function to make it easy to use and recycle. To begin, tap F5 and call it something like integer function. If you're feeling confident, see if you can change this code into a function that you then call in the main routine. If you're still with me, here's a quick reminder. To begin, we're going to define our function and call it something like integer checker. We can then indent everything that's going to be part of our function, and remember that our first line should be our doc string. Next, instead of printing our game goal and breaking, we can simply return the value. Rather than calling our variable game goal in the function, you want to refactor and rename. Then change the variable name to response. Then, underneath our function, hard up against the left-hand side, we can put in a comment where our main routine starts. We can set up our game goal variable and call our integer checking function. Then we can check this worked by printing out what the game goal is. A reminder that if you do have those PEP8 errors, you want to reformat the file. Remember that when you run your code, you want to check that you're running the current file, and you can then test it. And as you can see, we now have a working integer function that's very simple and customized for our particular project. Our next step is to combine our instructions with a piece of code that asks the user for the game goal. Please go into your instructions component and tap F5. Then save your program as B01 Rollit version 1, where the B stands for base. We can collapse our functions and then go into your integer checking function, select the whole function and copy it. Then in your base component, paste in the function. Instead of saying program continues, we want to get the game goal. This is super easy because we've already got the code in our integer function. All we need to do is retrieve it, copy it, and think about where we're putting it in our base. In this case, we want it to be after the instructions. We can then run our current file, and we can choose to see the instructions, and we can then put in a game goal that needs to be 13 or more. I've updated my planning, and we can see that our next step is to create the code for one round of our game, and we're going to do that in the next video.